Hey guys, welcome back to the Ride Right Waxing and UK One Wheel channel. So, back in the workshop, fresh back from Maribel. Had an awesome time on my Camel 2 Battalion snowboard. Step-on bindings, absolutely on point. And if the video hasn't already been uploaded, it'll be uploaded. It's quite a long one because we did some follow cams and stuff. Basically had an awesome time. Tom and I ripped around the mountain, something chronic, loads of powder, and the conditions were phenomenal. But anyway, more importantly, back to snowboards. We are servicing this one. This is ready to go out early February. Lucky thing. It's a Ride Decade board. I've got some bits out ready. We've got to do a little bit of repair work, which I'll come on to in a minute. But yeah, awesome board. It's like the older board, but in really good condition. And we're just going to give this board a bit of a detail, bit of a clean, a major sharpen up, and we've got some bits to bobs to do on the bottom. So let's pop you in my hand and let's run down this Ride Decade and let's have a look to see what it needs. Okay, one Ride Decade. Got some AG analog stickers and stuff on there, which is really, really cool. Top coat is in phenomenal condition, to be honest. Really good shiny. There's no kind of like major damage around the edge of the rails as such, which is really, really cool. But yeah, really, really good condition. But flip it over. Needs a little bit of work on the bottom. We've got a couple of deep gouges. Edges definitely need a detail. We'll get these looking ship shape. We've got some rust, some corrosion, and some gouges going across the rail. And we're going to get these nice and sharp. Had a bit of a P-Tex repair before, which is just there. So we'll tidy that up. Might try and base scrape that. There's a little bit of a lip there, and we've got one or two just here. Got a bit of a core shot just there. I don't know if you can see. We can see the core through the blue, and that's the reason for having that stuff that was on the board beforehand. So what I'm going to be using is I've got some clear core shot. This is not P-Tex. This is core shot. I've got one solder iron, so that will warm up. Already starting to warm up, so leave that to warm up a minute so it gets nice and hot. And obviously a mask, because this stuff stinks. So what we're going to do, we won't be filling this up completely to the top, but we're going to melt some in there, and then we'll lay some clear P-Tex over the top. That stops any moisture going into the base just through there, and obviously causing this end to rust the rail from the inside, but also lifting the base cover, should we say, on the board and getting moisture into the core of the board, affecting the board's life, should we say, or shortening the board's life. So we're going to do that, and then we'll get on and give the board a jolly good clean, and then we'll give it a full base scrape, metal wire brush, put the gradient, or should we say the direction back in the base of this board, get it waxed and get it polished. So you should see this strip light as I talk about in my other videos. Obviously a little bit more shinier on the base of this board, one hopes, and we'll clean up all this lettering by the E and the D and the R, etc. So we are going to get into this. Let's crack on and let's get this board looking shipshape. Now, before we do the edges, I have a box of fresh new goodies. Got base cleaner, which is really cool. Base cleaner, we've got more waxes, gummy stones, files, base scrapers, lots of files. So we're going to use a brand new file, because these things do get an awful hard life. They do last quite a long time, but yeah, when you compare, should we say, that and that, you can see how much work they get. That is very much worn out. I did set skis, a couple of sets back, and they were so rusty. If you go back onto my channel, which is frozen behind me, but if you go back onto my channel, there's a set of rusty skis I did. They were awful, and that absolutely destroyed my files. As much as you try and clean them up, always try and keep your rails. Don't mind them scratched and scraped, but obviously try and keep the rust off them, because it really does play havoc with your files. But anyway, we've got a box of goodies, so I'm going to chuck all this back in here, and we're going to get on fresh new file, And I'm going to get these base rails looking absolutely on point. So we're going to set up the base bevel, make sure that the angle is correct, which I've looked up already for this board. And this is going to be ready to fly. So we simply put it in, and it works off like a 45-degree angle. You set the angle, or should we say the bevel base, on here, and you run it simply down the side of the rail, and you just run it in one direction. Not too much pressure, basically just taking that edge so it's absolutely on point. You do both sides, and then we work on the side rails, sharpen them, and then you've got the rails looking lovely. And then we'll do some work on the base of this board. I have just dropped some of that base repair in there. Again, not trying to fill it up, because we're going to put a little P-Tex just on top, and that's slightly easier to scrape off, because this stuff here, as I've just discovered, I dripped it onto my finger, and boy, that's hot. That is really, really hot. So yeah, that's all filled up, so none of the cleaning base material has gone in there, so that's still going to be lovely and dry. So we're going to get on to do these rails. We're going to do side rails, then we're going to talk about step-on bindings. So do stay tuned. I've got a little video coming up. I run with step-on bindings. They're made by Burton, and I absolutely love them. And I've recommended them to this customer, and he has actually gone out and bought himself some. You've got ion and photon boots, depending if you want a double boa system or a single, and a pull string. And the step-on bindings are a real game changer. Like I say, I'm no spring chicken, and they make my life so much easier on my back, sitting down, and most importantly, time. You're off the lift and you're gone. But anyway, we'll come on to that a little bit later on in the film. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to put you back on time lapse, put some tunes on. We're going to get these rails all done. Then we're going to work on the base with some P-Tex, get this scraped, brushed, and waxed. And then I'm going to talk to you about Burton step-on. So stay tuned. Let's crack on with this ride board. Right guys, so the board is fresh out the hot room, and you can really see the colour in the bottom of this base. This is going to come up really, really nice. Got it super smooth. We put the direction back in there. We've dull and tipped the ends. We've sharpened the rails. And yeah, we've laid a good, decent, hot layer of wax in the base of this board. I am super pleased with it. We're going to do a couple of things though first. We're going to stick the Ride Right Waxing service sticker on the board. I'm thinking, where should I stick it? I think it will look quite cool just above here. So just offset it, a bit of a kind of like retro styley, so that looks quite cool. So yeah, that's all done. But what I was going to do is talk to you about step-on bindings. Now, step-on bindings basically are bindings without, obviously, the toe strap, and without, I suppose you could say, the knuckle strap that goes from ankle bone to ankle bone. I absolutely love these. You simply can just click your heel in, and there's two stages, and you click left and right. And what I'm going to do now is play a video of me clicking in and out of them, and people worry about will they fall off, because it is weird at first when you do have them, because obviously you think my board's going to fall off my feet because you've got no straps holding it on. I have never ever had a problem with my board ever coming off my feet, and I have crashed quite gnarly. And in the video you're going to see, I do a couple of tomahawks, and yeah, I've given this board, or should I say my step-on bindings on my board, a real good workout. Ride loads of power with it. I'm just about to upload, if I haven't done also, my video on Maribel, and I'll put a link to that video in the description below. But yeah, I'm going to play that video now.
Kamikaze.
Hey guys, right, top of Maribel. It is snowing, as you can tell. The weather is awful, but when it snows, it means it's powder. Burnt step-ons. You've got to love a burnt step-on. And conditions are white out, but making most of it. Let's catch Tom up. So what do you think? Step-on bindings, super easy, super easy. If you're struggling with bending over, if you've got a bad back, if you've got bad legs, it just saves your legs for those extra powder days. If you're really going hard at it for the 7 days that you're over in the Alps, or wherever you are really, absolutely 100% recommendation. Really, really. As you get older, it's harder to bend down, but the speed aspect is second to none. You come off a lift, to be honest, you can actually click in when you're on the lift and ski straight off of it, or snowboard straight off of it. And the reason that came about, I actually do snowboard with a load of skiers, and they were off, poof, gone, and I was always playing catch up, sitting down, strapping in, and especially when you get to those skating parts, you can lean down, flick the latch, take your foot out, skateboard, and when you're ready, you just bend down, brush the snow out, click with your foot, and you're off. And it is absolutely superb. And my buddy Tom would absolutely recommend them as well, because it saves him hanging around in the cold. Anyway, that's enough of Burton Step-Ons. Sadly, not a sponsored link. It'd be nice if it was, and they sent me some, but never mind. Would still recommend them because I love them. We're going to get on and detail this board. We're going to base scrape this. Make sure we get all this wax off. We're going to detail brush this with the drill brushes. Horsehair to nylon to polishing. And this thing is going to come up an absolute treat. So stay tuned for the before and after. I think you're going to absolutely love this. The colour in this board is already looking good. So I'm really, really pleased. So guys, stay with me. Let's have a quick time-lapse video, a few tunes. Let's crack on with this board. There we go, guys. One ride decade all done. This has come up so good. So good. Look at the colour difference. That before and after is just intense. Look at that deep blue. All the way across that board, we've got that lovely shine. The edges are sharp. And we've filled in. Now, we had a core shot here. You can still see the core, but that's fully sealed now. We put translucent base material in by liquefying it. Then we've put clear P-Tex on top. There you go. Have a look at that. Super pleased with that. Super pleased. That has come up so lovely. The board is so flat. We've taken all those high spots. We have done quite a bit of P-Tex on this board. But again, by polishing and scraping and cleaning and scrubbing, that white's come up lovely in the letters on that word ride. Now that's from the previous P-Tex repair, but we've even still filled over that one, so that's even flatter. There's a big scrape down through the board. Yes, you can still see it. You're never going to get rid of it unless you do a full base sand. But the board's flat. It's super smooth. You've got the direction in there, and it's polished. And I've liquid Tefloned it, so those rails won't go rusty between now and when it hits the snow. Really, really pleased with this one. This has come up lovely, and the colour is just immense. So there we go, guys. One ride decade, all done in the Ride Right Waxing workshop. So thank you very much indeed for the customer to let me service this one. And thank you to him also for listening to have Burton Step-Ons. Again, they are awesome. I absolutely love them. Massive game changer. like I say, I don't ride massive amounts of park and that kind of stuff. I love having fun. And again, do go and check out that Maribel video. It'll be in the description below. It's quite a long video, but then it's a whole week of videoing. I had about 7.5 hours and I've got it down to about 36 minutes. But there's crashes, falls, rock drops. Yeah, basically what I would call amateur snowboarding, but having a lot of fun. Yeah, really good fun. So guys, do go and check that out. But guys, thank you ever so much indeed for watching another video on the Ride Right Waxing channel. Please send this to your friends, families. Hit that like button, more importantly. The more you hit the likes, the more it goes out, the more people see it. And obviously if you can hit subscribe, that'd be grand. If you go to the description, you can buy me a coffee, or you can subscribe $2.99 and become a member to the channel, which would be cool, because I'm building the channel up. But anyway, until next time, guess what? The immortal words are, we'll see you soon.